Welcome to part 2 of creating accountability mechanisms in Notion databases. In the previous video, we created a automatic way to measure progress across task completion. Once a task goes to in progress, a start timestamp gets recorded. Same with when a task gets marked as done, a timestamp gets added as well, and then we have a way to total that and then find the average completion time. In this video, I'll be showing you how to calculate idle time, create a certain output that shows how long it's been since someone's last edited a task, and to create a formula status to show how long it's been to let your teammates and anyone else know that a task might need to be prioritized. We're going to be depending on the last edited time and then comparing that to the current moment or now within a formula space, and then creating outputs based on various time frames. I've done something similar in my previous videos with last edited times and grouping, but in this case, I'm just going to try to think about the accountability mechanism that we can think about and we can use more so than having a formula focus on it. We're going to create a new formula, and in this case, we're going to be using the let's formula. We're going to open it and then close it, and this is just to make this process a little easier for ourselves. We're going to be basically calculating the time, label a variable time, and we are calculating the date between now and last edited time. Similar to our last video, we're going to do hours. You can change this again to any time frame you want. And now that we've defined time, we can close it out with a comma and then define time. So now we know it's been 16 hours since this task has been edited, 39 for this one, and then 39 for this one. This one we just edited, so it's 0. This isn't a complex formula by any means, but this is just to get you thinking about how you might want to measure idle time. Obviously, I don't want people to take this the wrong way and think of it as a way to micromanage people, but more so just a way to gauge idle time in a broader sense and to sort of have a collaborative effort when it comes to knocking tasks out and keeping people accountable. There's several different ways to do this. We can also increment time and have a certain range of time that we might want to measure from. But in this video, I'm going to keep it very simple, stupid. And maybe we want to just think of it in terms of 3, 2, and 1 day idle time increments. We can just start with an ifs formula, and we're going to simplify the way we create this just for the ease of the user, and so that we can make this a quick and short video and move on to our third accountability mechanism within Notion databases. We want to start with the highest idle time increment, in this case 3 days, and this is because within an if formula logic system, if it's not the first condition that's met, then it'll be the second condition. If it's not the second condition that's met, it's the third condition. If we were to start with 24 hours or 1 day of idle time greater than 24, and that would always hold whether it's 3 or 2 or 1 day. If the time or the difference in last edited time and now is greater than 72, then more than 3 days idle time. Now if we do the same thing, we can do if time is greater than 48, more than 2 days, comma, shift enter, space, time greater than 24, more than 1 day idle time. Otherwise, we're just going to leave it blank, double quotation marks, close it up, and then we can remove that time variable that we added at the bottom. Now the error disappears. So again, the reason why we're starting with 72, then 48, and then 24 is because it's going to first check if it was greater than 72, and if it's not, then it's going to move to the next condition. And if it's not greater than 48, then it's going to move to the next condition here. If we were to reverse the operations and did 24, 48, and 72, this first condition would always be met after time is more than 24. And so this is a way we can use hierarchy and start with the largest constraint or condition and then to move our way down. Obviously, we can also add another condition and say, and time is also less than whatever. And so that's just another and condition that we can create. And that's something I did in my other video around grouping by last edited time. This is just a more simplified version of that and a way to visualize that through the simple formula. So once we've created that, we can see that there's more than 1 day of idle time for this one in particular. So the reason why this is not show a status is because it is less than the 24-hour time frame, and it is not 2 or 3 day idle time increment. I think one really fun way to make this status a little more engaging is by using emojis. And so we can do by typing colon, and then maybe in our case, we'll do triangle or warning. Copy that emoji, but I'm going to actually do a few other ones. I'm going to look for some red emojis. So I'm going to do colon red, and I like that triangle one. And I also like maybe this big circle to sort of signify even more urgency than the triangle. So once I've created those emoji sets, I can paste it out, go back to my formula, and now I can paste those emojis right in there. I'll use the circle for more than 3 days. I'll use this red triangle for more than 2 days, and then I'll use the warning sign for 1 day. So now if we save it, it appears like so. And so maybe another addition to this is instead of just an output, we also show the amount. And so because we've already defined time, I'll start with the 1 more day because we have an output that looks like it, plus time plus hours. Now we have a very rudimentary way of showing that. Notice how there's no spaces. So we'll add a space here, we'll add a space there. And maybe we want to make it bold. So we'll do dot style, quotation marks, B, quotation marks there. And we have 40 hours of idle time that we're experiencing with task 4 and task 0. Now we can add any other symbols, maybe a hyphen, for example, to look like that, and so on and so forth. Obviously, you can do so much more with this, but don't want to get too carried away because I want to get you to part 3 of creating accountability mechanisms in Notion databases. Because last edited time is an automatic property, we can't change and test these other outputs. And so something we can do though is just using one of our other properties as a date and then testing it that way. So if I change this to due date, for example, click save, because there's no dates, these are all going to disappear. But if I just click some dates here, we see that all of these statuses work as needed, right? And so this is something worth trying to make sure that your formula works. You just need to change the last edited time date to an actual date property and then just vary that time between due dates, and then you can kind of verify that this works. And again, if we want to just do the same thing with these other 2 hour outputs, we can just copy, paste, copy, and then paste. And save it. Looks like we need to change space hyphen space, space hyphen space. And now we have sort of a standardized way in which we can visualize idle time. Now in our previous example, we created some sections. Maybe in this case, we might want to have idle time also be a pinned property within a task. Obviously in this case it's empty, but if we go to task 0, it'll look like that. More than 3 days. It's cut off because we have a bunch of other properties here, but that's fine. And then the other thing that I just thought of is the status is marked as done. So it doesn't make sense to show this output if the status is done, right? It just doesn't make any sense. And so we can weave in another formula constraint. And this is where we can nest another ifs. So we can say ifs status is not done, then we'll show this. Otherwise, we're gonna show nothing. And we just nested this ifs formula to say if and only the status is not done, then we can show this output, but otherwise we're gonna show an empty thing. So now if we go to task 0, which is marked as done, idle time disappears. Task 3 is also done, so it disappears. But if we change this to in progress, notice how that idle time output shows. Again, this is just another way to sort of think through the conditions of your formula and to make sure that you're not missing any gaps or that you're not accidentally showing things when you don't need to, and then to make sure that you can verify that these formulas are working through kind of workarounds like this. Now we have this all set up. We're ready to move on to our 3rd accountability mechanism within a Notion database. And I'll see you in the next one.